Jesus, give me liberty.
Hey folks, Kevin O'Neill here from Turn to Liberty. As you know, we have a primary occurring right now. Republican primary for sheriff is where the race is at. So forgive me for a little tongue-in-cheek here. We got Chad Clinton. No. That was Hillary Clinton. Republican, president of the College Republicans, Wesleyan College. I don't know if you know that or not, but Hillary Clinton was a Republican in college. Obviously not anymore. Let's see, Chad Crist. No, that's not Chad Crist. Charlie Crist. That's what I meant to say. He was a Republican governor. Now he's a Democrat congressman, U.S. congressman, sitting with the Democrats. Now, who am I thinking of? Chad Castor. Oh, no. That's Jane Castor, mayor of Tampa. She was a Republican her entire career, so I understand, as a chief of police up until 2015. Now she's a Democrat. She's a poster child of all sorts of things, as you know. Oh, my God. No, we're talking about Chad. No. What are we talking about? No, Chad Chronister. Yes, no. Chad Chronister. All right, so we got a sheriff race. What is up with the sheriff's race? Well, this year we've had red flag laws, as you know. I believe we're in the top 10, maybe top 6 counties in the state of Florida by capita for having people's guns and for Second Amendment rights taken away from them without being in front of a judge, without being to argue their case. Sorry, deal with it later. We're taking your stuff. You might as well be a criminal. And by the way, it goes in your permanent record. That's bad. That's very bad. We had riots. Don't forget the riots up there near Busch Gardens and USF, up there on Bush Boulevard and Fowler and MLK down here. That wasn't good. And now we have a sheriff who's literally said he will take orders from the governor. That's what our sheriff, Chad Chronister, has said in the past year. I'm interested in constitutional sheriffs. As you may or may not know, I've been pitching, I've had sheriffs in interviews, I've had sheriffs on panel discussions in Hillsborough County. These weren't Hillsborough sheriffs, these were ones from out of the area. And now we have Charles Boswell running, a Republican candidate for sheriff, who's calling himself a constitutional sheriff. Now, I haven't spoken to the man, we've exchanged voicemails. I also haven't spoken to Chad Chronister. I've certainly critiqued Chad Chronister from days back where Lavone Riggins was shot in his bedroom from SWAT teams for having $20 of marijuana on him. That was disgusting. That was a Tampa murder by the sheriff's department. Not good, gentlemen and ladies, not good. But now we have a race. Charles Boswell's running for sheriff. He's calling himself a constitutional sheriff. He understands the role of sheriff. I'm not quite sure Chad does. Chad might be really great at shooting straight. Great father, great husband, maybe even a great deputy, maybe a great deputy. But what he doesn't understand, in my opinion, is that he has a role between the crazy legislative branch of our government who come up with these insane laws and our Florida Constitution and our U.S. Constitution. This is where the sheriff lies, right in between. He's literally protecting us from the legislative. When the legislative branch goes off the rails, by interpreting our Florida Constitution and the U.S. Constitution against those laws and deciding which ones shall be applied and how. This is a fact. He is a constitutional officer. His job is to interpret as well as run the prisons and the courthouse and the deputies and the command structure, of course, of the sheriff's department. But he has an absolute role in protecting the people. Charles Boswell fully understands this. He is, as you may have heard, an ex-homicide detective. He's retired. He wants to get back into the sheriff's department, the same department where he was a homicide detective. These guys, homicide detectives, understand people, understand strategy, understand systems, understand science, typically are very well trained. And one of the most important things is they're also great listeners. And I highly doubt he's going to be a order-taking type of sheriff. I consider a constitutional sheriff to be one who is going to be interpreting the law against the Constitution. Yes, that's what a constitutional sheriff does, interprets the law against the Constitution. Hillsborough County needs help. We've had this this hierarchy, so to speak, in the sheriff's department going on something like 30 years. You know a lot of the details of what's gone on in this department. It's time for a change. We need to flip this thing over and start anew. I think Charles Boswell is the guy. I implore you Republicans to get it done. Get out to the polls. Vote for Boswell. I think it can't be worse than what we got. Can't be worse than what we got right now. We don't need a Hollywood political elbow rubbing kind of sheriff. We really need a guy with a hat on. His cowboy hat's a great signature piece. What the hell? Let's have this guy be sheriff, and let's see where he can ride this pony too. Hillsborough County Sheriff Charles Boswell, make it happen, folks. Voting's happening right now. The election is on. It's early voting, like day 2, and I think we got about 2 weeks of that, and then stops on a Sunday, and then we got the next Tuesday is the last day to vote. Mail it in, show up early, show up on Tuesday for the voting, and see you at the polls. Make it happen, people. It's time for us to start anew. Charles Boswell. Kevin from Turn to Liberty, signing off. You guys be well, stay well, and let's get this done.
Just give me liberty, oh give me